Perfect.
And we're live.
I'm excited. Guys, get your big boy pants on because we're hammering through this show tonight. Welcome to the Drag Drive Repeat Show, episode 83, presented by Summit Racing. Tonight's show is going to fill your brain with drag and drive content for close to an hour. That's right. It's a shorter show tonight because we got stuff going on. And as I said in the post earlier, it's a surprise show. So do your hand waves, all that kind of fun stuff. So I'll be traveling tomorrow. So we've moved the episode up a day so we can still bring you guys news and entertainment from around the drag and drive community. We're going to recap back to the streets. We're going to talk about One Guy's Garage Drag Weekend and their event winners. We're going to dive into a dual fuel setup questions in the Jaywire Solutions segment. And to end out the show, we're going to talk about drag and drive related videos on YouTube with a list of content creators that had a ton of coverage from Hot Rod Drag Week. So, Mr. Eric, hit that intro video. Let's get this thing going, dude.
All right, let's do it.
We're gonna pack things up and hit the road and try to make it the next day.
All right, guys. Well, welcome again to the episode 83 of the Drag Drive Repeat Show. My name is Mike Narks. I am the host of this show and the Drag Drive Repeat News, which happens on Saturday mornings. And this gentleman to my left is Mr. Eric White. How about you introduce yourself and tell them what you got going on?
I am Eric White. I am the co-host of both the show and the news. And currently I am going through 10,000 photos from Hot Rod Drag Week, but I did get some released last night, working my way through, just about done with day 0, about to start with day 1. So you guys are going to see photos drop probably every couple days now, hopefully until they're all out, but we'll see how far ahead I can get.
Well, we've got a couple days until 666 starts, so we can kind of fill the time between Drag Week and 666 with Mr. Eric White photos. The Eric White out here shooting photos. Well, y'all, if you don't know this, it's hard to do this without race car friends. I don't know if you knew that or not, but we appreciate all of our race car friends that are out there that help us sharing stuff, man. That's the biggest thing we can ask for you guys to do. And then we can't do this without our sponsors: Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, which have an update on them for some fun stuff we're going to do at 666. Car Change 3D, WAF Racing, Performa Built Transmissions, Jaywire Solutions, our newest sponsor, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Just hammering them out, man. I love all of those folks and just want to say thank you to all of them for sure.
And not a sponsor, but should be a sponsor. Garage Beer. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Bring it on. We would enjoy. There's nothing like garage beers. Now we need a line of parking lot beers.
Yep.
Just a nice fancy champagne of beer sipping, evening wear type beer that you can carry around in a parking lot full of greasy dudes. All right. Well, Summit Racing Speed Legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop with 4 facilities and 200 plus catalog editions. They fuel your passion. They save you money. They deliver fast and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. You can also find them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for all of your social media stuff. And you can tune into the On All Cylinders podcast, which just kicked off season 4 as of today with a new episode. If you like those kind of automotive discussions, from humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. All right, so they posted up course, big shout out to the crew over at the Summit Racing social media page, right? You never stop learning. So, what's the most recent lesson you learned in the garage? Mr. Eric White, you had a great one before we started recording. What's your lesson that you've learned?
Yeah, so this one's only going to be able to hit a select group of people, but when I say this, those people are going to literally know exactly what I'm talking about. Setting up a camera before I start working on my car. Because what happens in this prime example last time, I just went outside. I was going to remove my radiator, test fit this new radiator, and now the engine's out of the car, and I've got zero content of any of it. So, as a content creator, putting my camera up and pressing record before I actually start wrenching.
Yeah, even if you just put it on time lapse, Stephen Narks, just just put it on time lapse. That's all we need. Well, a few of the answers that were in that post with a lot of other comments there says you never know what problem the easiest task will give you. I thought that was a good one. And then this one is speaking directly to me in my heart and soul. Pretty tough to get a project done when you're sitting on the couch or in front of your computer or whatever I'm doing that's not out here wrenching on stuff. Clean up before you start a project. Bolts and parts get mixed up with other projects. Thought that was a good one. And then every tool can hurt you if you use it wrong enough. I thought that was a great one. That's a knuckle buster right there for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. You mean like using an all 16ths as a hammer?
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
That's awesome. That's a great post.
Yeah.
Again, they do such a great job out there with their social media. It's kind of a fun segment to kick off the show and kind of talk about what their most recent post was. So do you guys like freedom? Do you like horsepower?
Mm-hmm.
If so, these are now available on the website. The red, white, and blue America Drag Drive Repeat stickers. You can order them right now. Head over and get them. This is my personal favorite sticker out of our collection for now.
Yeah. There's some stuff that's coming. Won't you? Yeah. Let's talk about that because there are some new decals that will drop next week on the show. That Wednesday night we'll be back on a regular schedule, and I will have those new decals at 666. So whoever's going to be there first is going to have the first opportunity to pick up the newest bit of stuff. So I'm excited about that.
Which new ones are we talking about? Like the special event ones or the other ones?
The
Not special event ones, because those are going to be new too.
Yeah, all of that. So I will have we'll look at those here in just a little bit when we talk about the driven racing oil part. I'll have those with me. Those aren't for sale; those are giveaways. But the others are for sale. Are going to be fun. And let's just say
I have one of them right here.
Kind of gives a throw out to my favorite restaurant.
Yeah, I don't have that one, but I do have the other one here.
Ooh, should we show it?
Are we going to wait till next week? You think we should show it?
No, let's wait.
Build up the anticipation.
That's right. All right.
I'm telling you, it's going to be my new favorite decal, and I think you guys are all going to like it too. So, like Mike said, next week we'll have those and on the show, and Mike's going to have them and some other cool stuff at 666. So you're going to want to go find him and get them out because right now there's only a limited number of them, and if they go well and you guys like them, we're going to order a batch of them.
Yep. All righty. Well, we all know we're going to be at PRI, booth 4904, right? But part of that is that we do an award show that is presented by Summit Racing. So I should have the room number and time frame by next week's episode, is what I was told by our lady at PRI. So we should have our lockdown date then and be able to begin promoting that, because here's the deal. That's why we do that's why we spend all that money to be at PRI, is to do this award show that happens on Thursdays. That's the plan. And Thursday morning is our goal time. They're just trying to fit us into a room that'll hold, I'm figuring 75 to 100 people.
Sure.
That's kind of the plan. So we'll see what it is. We'll know more, as I said, next week.
And it's only 72 days away, just for the record.
Barf. Man, anxiety is setting in big time. And then right after the show ends, I'm going to be on the Competition Plus Power Hour with our boy Lee Craft. I'm so excited about this. He just sent me the email with the link. listen to the guests that are going to be over there. Angel Sampey, right? The racer, and Julie Natas. Like these are like Top Fuel, big time racers. And I don't even know what they race. I think one of them's Top Fuel, one of them's Pro Stock or something like that. We're going to talk to them, and I'm color commentary on that because I don't know anything about that stuff. So it's going to be.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I saw you running through the comments there. I see Matt Lang in here saying, see you there, and I'll bring some back to the streets merch. Dude, great shirt this year. And then live video feed from PRI Award Show. Yes, most definitely to Mr. Carl Bright out there. We'll be doing that again this year. And then you need to reserve a room upstairs. Yes, I have done that. Or that's what we're waiting on for the time back from that, or for the lock in on the time for the room that is upstairs. You know, sometimes you got to take it upstairs, like Johnson Stonecipher says. All right, let's do it, man. We got to cram some info in here, dude.
All right, you want to pull that back up? There we go. All right, let's pay our ads here. Driven Racing Oil is the performance engine that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing limits in top fuel drag boats and demo derbies. Winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cling and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil, then enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. As always, guys, you can find Driven Racing Oil on Facebook and Instagram at Driven Racing Oil, or shop at drivenracingoil.com.
That is for sure. Well, let's talk about Back to the Streets, and you can't talk about Back to the Streets and not mention Walter Racecraft. This dude showed up and showed out. This was it's pretty amazing. So I want to run through. This is their second year, and y'all, this isn't a traditional drag and drive, but I love this format. Heads up racing, trying to stay in the winner's bracket, and if you're in the loser's bracket, you still get to race and you still get to go heads up, and then it all kind of culminates in a small tire shootout on Sunday. It looked awesome. I had some serious FOMO as we went throughout the week there, or the weekend, and everybody was posting pictures and videos and all that kind of stuff. So Hard Target Images has an album that they're continually adding to from this event. Looks like it's going to be. This is another event that's on our list. We need an airplane, dude. We need an airplane to get around to everybody. So one thing that I did think was really cool, they added a Power Wheels class, which I thought was really neat to get the kids involved. But those kids also had to like drive around, kind of like a drag and drive. So they had to make a loop in the parking lot. So I thought that was pretty neat and a great way to kind of, get some kids involved. And I think they gave out like $1,000. So
nice.
I mean, I'm maybe building me a Power Wheels rig. The NA class champion, big shout out to Chucky Skinner, man, dude, super, super cool rig. That's the, on the left side of your picture there. Hard tire champ, Jason Upchurch. Dude, this car just does work. It was amazing. Stick shift class winner, Matt Walter of Walter Racecraft himself. Stick shift NA. This dude laid it down. I mean, I'm sure if it was like 2023, he was up against some guys that should have just rocked his world. And he went out and he did his work, man. That's what he does. And then True Street winner, Dave McKenna, I think this is his second time to win True Street. And this car is awesome. He let me ride with him last year. Dave's very analytical, kind of an engineer by trade, and just absolutely dominates when he goes out. He wins a ton of races, and this car just does work, man. It's twin turbo LS. Really a super cool car, super cool guy, and congratulations to him. And then, of course, Austin Sanchez, Mr. 3-gallon fuel cell in the back, stopping every 18 miles to put gas in, wins the small tire. This car, when I say does work, it's does work. It's awesome. This thing is another repeat win for him. He won this class last year and won it again this year.
Nice.
Yeah, big time stuff there. And then I'll let you take drag weekend.
Yeah, Jay's asking why the show is tonight.
Yeah, so I'm on tonight because I'll be traveling with Midwest Drag Race Series tomorrow, and we land in Houston at like 4 o'clock. And it's 2 hours to the track, so there's no way I can get to the track, get the Starlink set up, and get live here with everybody on a Wednesday night, and it be any kind of good show. So we're here early,
There we go.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Surprise.
So
Yep,
one
your
guy's one guy's garage just wrapped up. This is the longest running regional event going out, starting in 2015 with about 20-ish cars, and now they limit it to 70 cars. So shout out to Chris Cabe at Race Car Revolution for the photography. One guy's garage feels like family, and you get to know almost all the people. That puts it on make sure you feel welcome. That
Yep.
team, yeah, sorry, I can't read today.
That's okay.
So running through the class winners of this, the Outlaw was Carl Thomas with a 4.839 average, again, 8th mile. True Street was Aaron Prebe with an 8.432 average, that's a quarter mile. Factory Street was Aaron Perkins with a 9.210 average, quarter mile time. Stick Shift was Chuck Sliker with a 9.593 average. Tailgate was Jeremy Canis and an 8.232 average. Quickest quarter mile past the event was 8.071.
In a truck.
In a truck.
Like
with
in
a
an
tailgate.
81 C10. I mean, big boy
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah. Yep. And then finally, Street Eliminator, Chris Cabe with a .008 spread. So from a
Crazy.
15.552 to a 15.560.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. Again, we talk all the time. You don't have to have a 6-7 second car to win class and have fun. This is a 15-second car in Street Eliminator. And then second place for that was Chris Upmeyer that finished with a .009 spread. So how close is that? 0.0081, 0.009 was second.
I mean, how many? I would love to know from Chris Upmeyer if he's watching. Somebody tag him. I'd like to know how many passes he made.
Yeah.
Because, man, dude, being 009, I mean, you're literally 1,000th of a second out of the winner's spot or out of tying the winner's spot. I mean,
right.
That's pretty crazy.
Yep. Matt Lang saying great coverage. Thank you.
Heck yeah, man.
All right. And then up next, we've got Cruise and Lose Streetcar Showdown. This is a single day event coming up this Saturday, October 5th. So posted on the Cruise and Lose page. Meet at Kearney Raceway Park for a driver's meeting and tech. Drive to 2 checkpoints via any route you like, including but not limited to high altitude loop-de-loops, river, or dirt roads if you're man enough. 2 to 3 hours-ish is the goal for distance. Track goes live at 2 p.m. They are hosting an index race that you are welcome to enter, or you can get passes in during test and tune rounds between the index event. We will be doing an average of 2 passes. The first one must be in before a time of 6 p.m., which, obviously is subject to change depending on how the day goes. And then you'll have the rest of the evening to get in your second pass, which I think is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
I like the setup.
Yeah. So it's $100 to enter. That will cover your tech cards and the event. $200 sponsorships available will include entry and stickers on all the cars. 80 spots available. And the classes are 850, 750, 650, and unlimited.
Yep. And I just realized as I put 80 spots available, that was from the original post. So there's not 80 spots still available. I'll guarantee you there's way less than that. So that's on me. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I love the index side of that. And again, 8th mile racing there. So, 650 to 850 is going to give you a pretty wide range there to catch everybody. And then 666, guys, this is exciting. The the guys there have asked us, they asked us, but Eric isn't able to come down this time. We're saving his vacation time for PRI. So Drag Driven Repeat is the name for the week of 666. So we want your stories. Here's the deal. They're going to set up an internet service. We're hoping we can do a Starlink on the van itself. And then I'll be running around, or I won't be running around. You will be coming to me. Okay. So look for the driven van. Look for Michael Narks standing there with a microphone in one hand, ready to give you a microphone from the other. And let's tell stories, right? Basically, I'll have the computer up all day. We'll hit go live. We'll talk about your 666 stories. We want to hear what's happened, how fast have you been, what's your goals, how much fun you're having, all that kind of stuff. And there's special decals that are going to be available for those folks that come over that will kind of I don't know. It's going to be good memorabilia. I'll just say that, right? So it'll be something that you can put on your fridge at the house. You can put on the car. You can put on your lunchbox. I don't care where you put it. Put it on your forehead if you want to. Just come by and see me. I want to do this. This is really going to be a lot of fun, and I want to give a big shout out to the Driven Racing Oil team for giving me this chance. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'll be there on Friday in Springfield as they do tech and testing, and then obviously Saturday for racing. And I'll follow all the way to Amarillo. I think after racing at Amarillo, I will need to head back because it's 400 miles to Tulsa, and I've got to be in Tulsa on Thursday morning to finish up the Midwest Drag Race Series season. So pretty big event they're going to be going on in Tulsa, not only for Midwest that I do a lot of the social media for, but also for Tulsa Raceway Park. So, a lot of stuff going on that weekend. So it's going to be a blast. Again, another drag and drive event that meets up with the Midwest event. So it's kind of weird to get the mix of street cars, which y'all know that's my jam, and then go into full on pro mods and funny cars and top dragsters and all that kind of stuff. So, anyways,
Right.
yeah. So thank you to the Driven Racing Oil team for providing that opportunity.
Yeah. You better set aside at least one of them stickers for me since I can't attend.
Oh, believe it, dude. Believe it. Well, let's move to the Molly Motorsports section here. Attention high performance enthusiasts and racers, meet the Molly Motorsport Power Pack Kit, your ultimate solution for Power Pack performance. The Power Pack pistons are made from either 4032 aluminum alloy to allow for tighter cylinder to wall clearances and improved temperature stability, or 2618 alloy to allow for increased detonation resistance. What sets Molly apart? Forged pistons, graphol coating, and phosphate treatments for peak performance and durability. Elevate your ride with Molly Motorsports, where performance meets precision. Visit mollymotorsport.com for more details. And for all of you podcast listeners that aren't watching this on YouTube or Facebook, Molly is spelled Mahle.
Yeah, buddy. So this was pretty cool. So Rovic made a post on Facebook, and it said, "Time to start on the new engine setup for the Super Bowl of Drag and Drive events in 2025. Follow along, planning a new Olds-based motor for the 67442. The Olds block will be stuffed with all sorts of goodies by Bill Travado at BTR, like his max effort prepped cylinder heads, custom grind comp cams, Bryant crank, a Dale cubic prepped carb. The car will need a few upgrades to handle the power. The stock 12-bolt GM diff ain't going to cut it anymore. Stay tuned. This is going to be fun." So pretty awesome. And then Mike Turner made the comment, 850 class, here we come. And Rovic replied, eventually, yup. So,
Yeah.
And we know he'll make pass after pass after pass. So I think he'll fit into that 850 class pretty good.
Well, and he's already been, so that kind of puts him in street race big block power adder because he'll need obviously a little bit of nitrous to get there. And I'll tell you, the guys that are there, like Randy Bellahar right now, I mean, that dude ran 850s. And then you kind of drop back, well, drag week, anyways, you kind of drop back to Bob Ruppel, who was next, and he was in the low nines. So there's definitely opportunity for somebody to kind of come in and take over that 850 big block class. We talk a lot about the 850 small block class, but that 850 big block class is definitely open for it's ripe for the taking, to say the least.
Yeah. And it sounds like he's prepared to go after it, so that should be fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that dude's not scared to make passes. And so the guy that is building that engine is going to be like he's going to have a high standard to be upheld to.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially the burnouts that it's going to take as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one other thing. Another commenter said, is this for the race or for better burnouts? And he said, yes.
Oh
So big
yeah.
shout out to Rovic, man. I love that he's doing that in a big bodied Oldsmobile with Oldsmobile power.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely what makes it unique is that it's still Olds power, which also makes it kind of cool too.
Yep. Well, let's talk about some WAF racing here, and I'll do this one. WAF racing is a collective of engineers, racers, and hot rod enthusiasts who've come together in one place to create. With passions for racing, hot rodding cars and bikes, both classic and new, you just never know what they may be working on. Creating custom parts and electrical gadgets is just what they like to do. You never know what this eclectic group may have up their sleeves. So check them out at WAF-racing.com or on their social media. So it's kind of cool. They've got two products that we're going to talk about tonight. And I know we typically don't like pitch people's product stuff here. That's not what we're doing. But I thought these two were really, really cool. So lead us into that first one, man.
Yeah, so the first one is the spark plug holder that will be available on and after 666. So I'm going to show you a quick video of what this is.
We're getting the car ready for 666. It's close. Now we're working on parts and tools, trying to save a little space. I always bring spare plugs, as do most folks, I'm assuming. I like to pre-gap them, but I hate bringing them in these cardboard boxes. So we came up with something a little more sleek. It's actually a little bit smaller than packing two of these boxes. We've got ourselves a little box specific for holding spark plugs. So got your set of 8 plugs in there, easy to get them in and out. Keeps them safe. They don't move around much in there. Slide the lid back on, lock them in. We're going to take it on 666 for us. Show some folks, see if there's any changes that need to be done, but I think it will be a pretty sleek little carry case for guys bringing extra plugs, and we'll have it available on the WAF Racing store when we get back at the end of October. But let us know what you think.
Yeah, that is super cool.
Yeah. I'm really digging those guys over at WAF Racing. Chris Wozniak, and I think he says his girlfriend's going to be there. And I'm gonna ruin this if it's wrong, but I think her name's Lily. She'll be at 666, so I'm excited to see them again. They were both on the circuit in in the Fire Chicken, and so now they'll be there in that black, whatever the heck that was, for whatever Mopar car that was in the picture there. So they've been getting that car ready to do 666 for months now. So it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. You are a brave man saying a name that you're uncertain of. Just saying.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it won't be the first time I messed something up. Stephanie and Jennifer, remember all that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, so the other part they offer, I thought this was really neat. And of course, I was digging around on their site today looking for some stuff. But the piston ring compressor, I thought this was super cool because it's literally, well, as you go to put in the Molly pistons in your drag and drive build in the Mustang, I thought this was kind of cool. We could actually test this out, and like it's a 4-inch bore on your setup. So I think I'm just going to order one of these and send it to you because I want to see how it works. I think this is really cool. Instead of that, instead of a huge piston ring deal, you could throw this in the trailer and it's not going to weigh anything. That's the other side. And I know the piston ring installer doesn't weigh much there either, but this is a pretty neat deal I thought here, and would be an easy way to store inside a box and it not be nearly as bulky or anything as the typical piston ring or piston installer.
Yeah,
How
absolutely.
many times can I say piston installer?
Just a couple.
Yeah, just a few more.
Yeah,
Well,
super cool.
Yeah, let's keep running through this, guys. Again, thank you so much for being our race car friends. I know this is an accelerated show tonight, but I'm trying to get to where we're done here in about 50 minutes, so I can be on the Competition Plus Power Hour and have no questions on that side. So again, thank you for being our race car friends. Thank you for coming on tonight. Our counts are great for being a surprise show out of nowhere. Typically, we don't like to be on Tuesday nights because Adam Dory does his podcast or his live stream. They're the That's Cool Drink live stream, and we don't want to be on that because I love Adam Dory. But thank you for being our race car friends. Thank you for being here tonight. Hit that share button as we move into this last few bits of segment here. And thank you to our sponsors, Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, Jaywire Solutions. Congratulations to Jay. Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk Classifieds. If you're spending money, I beg of you, please try and spend your money with sponsors that support us, because in turn, they're here to support the Drag and Drive community. So a lot of times that's where their focus is and that's where their thoughts are. All righty. And guys, the gentleman's agreement, you know how this is. We love doing what we do, but it ain't free and it's very time consuming, right? Takes a ton of time. Eric knows this firsthand. So listen, we love doing it, but this is the deal. We'll keep doing this, but you need to do your part. Hit that subscriber, follow button wherever you're at. That's all we're asking for you to do. We can't verify that you do it. That's why it's kind of a gentleman's agreement. So, we'll do this, you do that. We'll all be happy.
Hey,
all
look,
right.
look who's here.
Chris Cabe. That's what's up, dude.
Well, we're just talking about him.
Popping in. Yep. He'll need to go back about 12 minutes, something like that, and get in there and hear his name being said by us here. Well, Mr. Eric, why don't you lead us into the Jaywire Solutions segment here?
Absolutely. Expert car and marine wiring solutions that you can trust. Jaywire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, race car, or drag and drive car. Plus, they offer products to make your driving experience better, like the blinker module that is a must for all drag and drive cars. The module will allow your rear turn signals to continue to function while the brake pedal is applied, just like stock. So you guys can check out all of Jaywire's product by checking out his website, Jaywire Solutions.
I know that's right. And then, man, I'll let you congratulate him.
Yeah, I saw this just before the show. I think you sent it to me. This is super cool. Mike and I want to say congratulations to Jay and the team on their first move into the new location, first one into the new space. So moving the shop over the next few days and picking up the next couple cars, we are getting things started. I can't thank our customers, friends, and family for the support that has gotten us this far. I can't wait to see the next year, what the next year brings, is what Jay said on social media. So again, congratulations, Jay. Keep doing your thing and making moves, man.
Oh man, I'm excited about this for him. And he tried to call me before the show started, or as the show is going. And so I think that's why he bounced in here for a few minutes. Just again, congratulations to those guys. I love it. And
there he is there right there.
Yeah. I had texted him earlier, and we're going to kind of go over this next part, which is Fonzie Novella posted up about dual fuels, and Jay, again, being a wiring and plumbing expert in our field, I wanted to kind of bounce some thoughts off of him. So we are going to revisit this conversation here, but with all that Jay has going on, he also has today is his anniversary to his wonderful wife. So congratulations to them on all accounts. Big days and weeks for them. So, but Fonzie Novella made a post, said, let's discuss dual fuel systems. He said, this topic comes up a lot, but recent firsthand experience of hunting down fuel on the drives has me thinking about the future of how I want to compete. Plus, I've never been a huge fan of my current fuel cell setup. He said, draining the tank and refilling at the track isn't something I want to do multiple times a week. It's what we hear a lot, really. And then he said, so how would you do it? What would you do differently if you had this? And then would you do one set of injectors, two sets of separate injectors, Y fittings, ball valves, clean brake fittings? Do you keep everything 100% separate? What would you do? So he said, my thoughts on this would be to have two tanks, a 14 to 16 gallon street tank with pump gas for low boost, and then a 2.5 to 5 gallon tank for known good E85 or X85. Not sure on fuel pumps and whatnot. So my thoughts, I think now I've never done a dual fuel setup. I've never leaned on something as hard as you would need to run like a methanol or something like that. But if you're going to be on E85, you could really probably just run a single tank and another set of injectors or something like that. My first initial thought was you have your 340 pump, and then you also have your big boy electric pump that's in, you could almost do the same tank, different baffles, do the same tank, and it feeds a second set of injectors, which is what a lot of people have been doing lately, is going from, a set of like 210s, and then they're adding a set of 210s. So then you have 420 instead of needing a set of 420 and it idling like crap, right? So the nerd part of my brain kind of kicked in. I'm like, man, how would I do this? And it would be two separate fuel systems. I would, if I was going to run E85 all the time or X85 when I got to the track, I would probably just keep one tank and do two sets of injectors with a big pump. The small pump. The struggle I would have, I would think, is if you have a belt driven mechanical pump, right? And you take your belt off while you're driving and you go to leave a route stop, do you have enough injector and pump to do a nasty trailer burnout? That's the struggle, right? That would be the hardest part for me. If you don't, then you've got to figure out how to bring both of those on at the same time. Well, if it's a mechanical fuel pump for your 5-gallon meth tank, that's not going to work either, because you're not going to, oh, hey, I'm going to leave. I'm going to pull out here and put my belt on, and I'm going to, because you want to get people to burn out. So I would run two sets of injectors. And even if you ran like right out of a 5-gallon methanol tank, you could do that with, a big-ish electrical pump or a big electric pump. And I mean, nothing I make is going to be more than what I would need to have, 1,000 horsepower worth of shit would be more than enough fuel that I could handle with methanol on an electric pump. Most likely. I don't know, but there are some people that answered that have way more knowledge and experience than I do. So,
shout out to Destroyer popping in here real quick.
yeah. Hey, what's up, man? It's great to see him. Always out here. And again, guys, if you don't know, Destroyer 1320, if you drive a late model Mopar that tends to get stolen, this is a great way for you to not have that happen. It will definitely deter some thievery. And we talked about, well, we haven't talked. We're going to have him on in a couple weeks, but Faraday bags for your keys so they can't be copied, and neutral safety strap covers to make it easy so they can't just pull the safety strap and roll it out. Hey, Carl says easy solution, wet nitrous kit just for the burnouts. That could work. Exactly. So Mark Cicino says in-tank pump in a stock type tank for a street driving setup, then a 4 to 5 gallon cell with your choice of brace pump for the track. He said it works well. So Mark Cicino knows, he's been around a long time. Jeremy Ortiz, he said, I just swapped fuels on mine before and after the track. Takes about 5 minutes while we swap tires. Dual fuel system would be cool at some point, but this was simple for me. I get that. Tyler Basham of the Taco Time and the Daisy, I think, Fairmont wagon. He said, we did 2 complete fuel systems. We drive on pump gas or E if it's available because it keeps the car cooler, then race on methanol. So he says, I just changed the tune. Methanol is cable drive mechanical. And then David Deal, kind of reiterating what I was talking about earlier, he said, we just drain and change fuel. Consider the 2 complete separate system thing with a small cell in the front for methanol with a belt drive fuel pump, and then our 15-gallon in back on a small electric. He said it'd be a lot of work though. So we just got 16 210s on a common rail. One set turns off on the drive tune. So again, if David Deal can go 200 on a single system like that with 2 sets of injectors, you're probably okay.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we talk about this, a car that's been together a long time, you want to keep upgrading. There's those little points and pieces that you're like, how do I make this a better driving experience? And I think that's what Fonzie's kind of wanting to do now. He's had the car, it's been together, it's done a couple events. Now it's time to figure out that next step. And I think the nerdy engineer in his brain kind of wants to do something fun. And that's where I think having 2 separate systems could come in good. Because again, if you don't need the big boy injectors until you do need them, then I need to do trailer burnouts, 150 mile an hour wheel speed trailer burnouts for the kids. That's what it's there for, right?
Yeah. I like the idea because fuel setup is something that I don't have dialed in on my car yet. Yeah. So I think this is a good topic, and it gives me a lot of ideas to think about myself, because I do need to figure out what I'm going to run for mine as well. So perfect topic to get my brain twirling.
Yeah. And again, on 700 or 800 horsepower, I think you'd be totally fine on the E85. And then we just get some really good E85, like known good E85 at the track, and it'll be more than fine there. And I would love to see a set of two sets of injectors. You could have a small set, and then as a boost system comes in, like as you get to like 3 or 4 pounds, a second pump comes on, or
Yeah.
the third pump comes on to feed that, and take care of all the other tire shredding, trailer burnout, and and racetrack stuff that you would have.
Yeah. Neil saying here, what works for me might not work for you. That's perfect too.
Yep.
That's not going to work for everybody. The real Jack Brooks, I like that my car has dual fuels, pump drive, M1 race.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to be able to push it a little bit more
Yeah.
if you have a really good fuel in there for when you're racing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, again, how complicated do you want it?
Right. Drag and drive is only about tacos and burnouts.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
And then Jay said, I'll research this more. I have ideas for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Send those over in a message because I'd be interested to hear what you say, and even keep in mind something for my lower horsepower car. What would be a good idea that I should kind of keep in mind myself?
Yeah, I mean, I think a dual pump and some decaps will get you to 600. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Well, I'll say the 450 and decaps in mine got me to 500 wheel through a 4L80. So surely you're fine there.
Yeah.
You'll have way more airflow than I do.
All right. So next up, we've got the Howard's Cam community segment. So let me jump in here and we'll play this video and then we will get through the segment.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Harris from the Monoxide Podcast. Real quick, Howard's Cams was founded as a racing cam manufacturer almost 80 years ago when Howard Johansson created Howard's Power and Racing Equipment in 1945. Howard's Cams has always used on-track experience to design the most powerful designs, and today they have an even greater group of experienced racers in circle track, drag racing, road race, mud bog, and marine. They use all this input plus the most advanced computer software to design the most competitive race-winning products. From pioneers in drag racing and oval track to cutting-edge marine development, Howard's Cams is at the forefront of the industry. So make sure to reach out to our friend Luke B for your next valve train upgrade.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, and we lose Mike just like that. All right. Well, he made it 41 minutes, so. All right. So Pizza Power Tour, October 6th is coming up. So that is, what is that? That is Sunday, this upcoming Sunday. There's no racing, but cruising with a bunch of race car friends. Sounds awesome. Pizza Power Tour 2024. This is the annual kickoff of fundraising for Toys for Tots. We will be starting at a unique location at the Lincoln Highway Experience Museum dedicated to Route 30.
Yeah,
Did you make it back?
yeah, sorry about that. I really wish I could do this one year. The Pizza Power Tour looks awesome, dude.
Yeah, and and even thinking like power tour in general got me thinking like we probably need to do a power tour and like we'll take the 240 and we'll sticker that thing up with drag drive repeat on there and then we can just go preach drag and drive to all these power tour folks.
Maybe. I don't know.
But we can preach it.
Yeah, we'll definitely preach it for sure. That would be a lot of fun. And a lot of times they hit drag strips because they have the space.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you want to finish up the
thoughts
on this here?
Yeah, the route will stop in Latrobe, head south to Uniontown, and finish in Washington, Pennsylvania area. Most of the details are ironed out, but wanted to give general logistics so that everyone can plan accordingly. Of course, all that's put on by Jeff Oppenheim. Love that dude, and it was great to hang out with him at Drag Week. We didn't get to see each other a whole bunch, but we got about 10 or 15 minutes on day one, and that was cool, man. So I'm excited to see him do this again. This is a long time running. He's been doing this.
Yeah, I stopped and talked to him on Friday and got a picture of him and her next to the car. So excited once I get to day 5 to share that out. And, I've already posted one picture of him grinning after getting his time slip, which was an awesome shot. So, yeah, it was cool. I haven't seen him since he took us out in Pittsburgh and gave me a tour of the city, but it was good seeing him again for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that dude, he's one of my favorite drag and drive guys. Well, let's talk about this as we kind of wind down the show here. We talked about content creation early, and that was your lesson you learned in the last couple of weeks is about recording. Look at the list of names here from these are YouTube channels that have content from Hot Rod Drag Week 2024. I
Wow.
want you guys out there to take a screenshot of this right now and then go in and follow some of these guys. Watch some of their content, give them some support, dadgummit. Like go out there and find that stuff, you know. This is a big deal. There's a lot of time spent where it's 2 o'clock in the morning and they're just getting to the hotel and then they spend another 2 hours putting a video together. I know Jesse Fox does that all the time. The Bucket List Mob, Mike Heston and his whole crew. It was like 2 cars and 10 people that were in there hanging out, and the Bucket List Mob loved that. Of course, Motor Trend, they haven't begun to cut up the content from the event yet, but that's where obviously the live streaming of all the stuff is. Tom Bailey's channel, Sick the Magazine, Iski Cam's riding with Alex Taylor. We know she's going to have a lot of good stuff. Spider Garage does great. Quarter Horse Customs, we actually met them. They were the folks with the white Mustang and the red home built trailer. I love that setup there.
Yep,
Buck McCoy. Go ahead.
He actually sent me a message. They got into sick week. Yeah. So
Nice.
they were asking if we were going to be at sick week. So this
Nice.
was their first Dragon Drive, and I'm pretty sure they're all in.
Yeah,
So
they're
that
hooked
was
on it for
that
sure.
was pretty cool.
Yep. And then Buck McCoy Hillbilly Garage, that dude did the circuit as well. So that's going to be a fun one to watch. Rowdy Streetcars. What's the last one there? 815 LSX Swaps. I mean, if you guys never heard of that one, come on now, get with it. And then RPM Army, 10-foot customs. And then I see Neil Sabo here saying Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0. Yes, I will have a list of that, but it'll be next week. This took some time to get together here to put this on, to put this list together of folks that are out there, because you don't want to just search Drag Week and it be, So I had to confirm that 2024 content was out there as well.
Yeah, you got to be careful doing the old Google on Drag Week.
yeah, that's for sure. So, anyways, give those folks a shout out. Give those folks a follow. Take a screenshot of this right here. This will give you plenty of content, because you know how it goes. If you see more and more content about Drag and Drive, the algorithm is going to show you more and more content about Drag and Drive.
That is right. And of course, don't forget, we are releasing photos slowly. They are coming over the next few days. You'll get some more of day 0 registration, and then we're going to jump right into days 1 through 5. So we will have an album up on the Drag Drive Repeat Facebook page for each day of the event. So again, every one of those photos will be available for purchase. So if you see a photo that you enjoy, reach out. We can get you a digital copy of that with no watermarks, and they're going to be $10 a piece. So if you want a photo, if you want multiple photos, we can probably work something out, maybe a little better price, but it's going to be $10 a photo. Any photo on there, reach out. And again, it's going to be a little bit, but we're going to get all of those albums uploaded shortly.
Yep, and you'll be breaking them down by day, right?
Correct. Yep. Day 1, day 0 through day 5. There'll be an album for each one. Depending on how many photos are in each day, I might even break it down by day 1 racetrack, day 1 route stop, just to kind of, because there's going to be so many photos, it might be easier. In fact, I think I'll just go ahead and plan on doing it that way.
Yeah. Day 1 rollers.
Yeah. Those two.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, man. Lead us out of here.
All right. Again, thank you guys for jumping on our surprise episode for tonight. I know it was kind of last minute, but we had to shift some schedule around to make some things work. So thanks for everybody that jumped in tonight. We've actually had good engagement, a good view, so we appreciate that. And of course, thank you to all of our sponsors. This wouldn't be possible without them. Summit Racing Equipment, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Change 3D, WAF Racing, Performa-Built Transmissions, Jaywire Solutions, Howard's Cam, Sweet Patina, PowerTube TV, and Racing Junk. That's it, guys. Jump over on, where are you going to be after this?
Yep. So I'll be on the Competition Plus YouTube channel with Lee Kraft from Monday Morning Racer. We'll be interviewing NHRA folks. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah. So if you want to keep looking at Mike's beautiful face there, you can jump over there and watch that as well.
All right, guys. Thanks a bunch. We'll see you soon.
Yep. See ya.